Hi, welcome back to Soul Food Ministries and Outreach. I'm Henriette Hobson. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to the focus of this channel, which is Black Americans. No more Jim Crow. We're not going back. This is a safety zone and place for Black Americans to come because we're rooting for you here, me and Jesus. Okay? Ephesians, we're in the book of Ephesians of the New Testament, the book right after Galatians. And I'm going to go with chapter 4. So here we go. I therefore, the prisoner of the Lord, beseech you to walk worthy of the vocation where you are called, with all lowliness and meekness and long suffering, forbearing one another in love. That right there, those first two verses are huge. Endeavoring to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. There is one body, one Spirit, even as ye are called in one hope of your calling, one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father of all, who is above all and through all and in you all. But unto every one of us is given grace according to the measure of the gift of Christ. Wherefore he saith, when he ascended up on high, he led captivity captive, and he gave gifts unto men. Now that he ascended, what is it but that he also descended? Turn the page here. First unto the lower parts of the earth. And that is such a miracle, how Jesus went down into the lower parts of the earth for us and paid the price and paid the penalty, as well as stripping the devil while he was down. He that descended is the same also that ascended up far above all heavens, that he might fulfill all things. And he gave some apostles and some prophets and some evangelists and some pastors and teachers, for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Christ. Till we all come in the unity of, I'm just going to stop right here. I have to. I never feel comfortable with that. And the simple fact that all of that was brought about by man. They say God did it, but what it is that the way that man thought when he was recording all this and describing all this and everything, he put things in there the way that he felt like they should be. They were still hanging on to some of that old law and mentality that there should be some special people, hierarchy over others. And that is not, Jesus came to get rid of that. He did not come to enforce that. So when you read that, just know everybody is all of that. In these organizations, though, they set aside and this is how they've set up the churches of today, the Catholicism and all, Jesus. If you will go back to before he ascended, throughout his life even, he never once that I have read that he called one particular persons, apostles, prophets, teachers, pastors. Not once. Nobody was called out and named and titled like that, because he came to destroy that. It was a mess. So just know this has been all set up in the way of how man has set it up and then called it God. Okay, I know That doesn't mean don't trust the Bible. That just means think about it. Go back and look at Jesus's life and his purpose and his what he said and how he did things. And then you can just, it tells the story, the answer. The Spirit of God will lead you and reveal it to you, just like he just did to me. I always knew it, but explaining it was something altogether that different, and he gave it to me right here to explain to you. Hot off the press, folks. 13. And wait a minute, before we go anymore, it is back a little further back, and it's right, He said he gave gifts unto men and all that. Not just special man. He gave gifts unto all mankind that came and got born again. They wanted to divide that stuff, and there's the Leviathan spirit. See, Leviathan is whoo, I'm telling you, he's worse than Jezzy and the rest of them, because he comes in, he completely, see, we're dealing with Leviathan in our government today, and completely rearranging the heart, the heart and mind of God, lying in order to keep that pride going. No one is special over the other. Some people seem like they have, and operate in things, but they've tapped into it. It's in all of us. For whatever reasons, it's more difficult to get it out of some of us than others, but it is in there and it's ours. No one is above you in the sense that God picked them out and said, you the better. No. You just haven't tapped into it yet. It's right there for you. Some people are more open to it. If it has anything to do with the way they were raised, whatever. A lot of people have shut off a lot of things because, we don't operate like that around here. All that stuff. Okay. Verse 13. Till we all come in the unity of the faith and the knowledge of the Son of God. There you go, right there, just what I was saying. Just what I was talking about. Unto a perfect man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of Christ, that we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine by sleight of men, by the cunning craftiness whereby they lie in wait to deceive. Hallelujah. That craftiness is witchcraft, trickery. 15, continuing, verse 15. Speaking the truth in love may grow up into him in all things, which is the head, even Christ, from whom the whole body is fitly joined together and compacted by that which every joint supplies, according to the effectual working in the measure of every part, maketh increase of the body unto the edifying of itself in love. This I say therefore, and testify in the Lord, that ye henceforth walk not as other Gentiles walk in the vanity of their minds. We are not as Christians to do that. Having their understanding darkened, being alienated from the life of God through the ignorance that is in them. He's explaining what happens when you walk in the flesh. Because of the blindness of their heart, who being past feeling have given themselves over to lasciviousness, to work all uncleanness and greediness. Here we are, government of America. These leaders, I'm telling you. But ye have not so learned Christ, if you're acting out of that. If so be that ye have heard him and have been taught by him, as the truth is in Jesus, that ye put off concerning the former conversation the old man. Put it off. He says, put it off. That's up to you. He's not going to just take it away from you. He gave you him, his life, everything. It's up to you to put off that sin. He told the young lady when they came to have her stoned, he said, go and sin no more. He said that to the people he healed. Go and sin no more. And the worst thing will come upon you. Put off that old conversation, that old way of living, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lust. He's explaining clearly what this is about. And be renewed in the spirit of your mind. That's your soul. Be renewed. Have the mind of Christ. Seek out the mind of Christ. And that ye put on the new man. Woo-wee! Which after God is created in righteousness and true holiness. Wherefore, putting away lying, speaking every man the truth with his neighbor. Stop lying. Stop lying. Speak truth. If it's something you don't want someone to know, then just don't say anything. But stop lying. He's clearly saying, I hate it. For we are members one of another. It's hurting you to lie, not him. Be ye angry and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath. Now, someone explained that being ye angry and sin not is, he's not saying don't be angry, because clearly he's saying be angry. That's angry at the devil. Get angry, get mad at the devil and all of his stuff, all his ways, all his symptoms and influences and all that. But don't go out there and start killing people because you don't like the way that they are. You don't just take it upon yourself to just, he said, sin not. Don't let the sun go down upon your wrath. Because if you keep harboring that wrath, I guess wrath and anger being two different things. One maybe a little bit more, from the way this is sounding, more about just that rage kind of getting so angry, so it starts getting out of control, and you start allowing, then the enemy starts coming in, and then he starts giving you ideas on what to do and how to handle it by the sword. Natural sword. No, you use it with the sword of the Spirit. Neither give, verse 27, continuing, neither give place to the devil. Don't give him a place to, throw you in jail, throw away the key. You can't get out for the rest of your life because you're taking somebody else's life. You're going to handle it your way. God is already clearly telling you. It's one thing to self-defense. It's a whole other thing to go plot and kill somebody. He said, let him that steal no more, but rather let him labor. If you want something, go out there, get a job, save your money. If you don't have the proper education or skills or whatever to make a whole lot of money, then you better learn how to take your money and save it. You need to start. Today we have so many resources to teach you what to do that you can go out and you can multiply your money in different ways. Just wait it out until you're able to buy what it is you want. Refuse to allow the lust of things to take a hold of you and get out of control, and all you can think of is how you want that thing, and you got to have it at all costs. Then you start going robbing stores and banks and stealing out of stores. No, he says, steal no more. Go get a job and work with your hands, the thing which is good, that he may have to give to him that needeth. Listen, Black Americans. Now, I'm talking to y'all because I don't want to see you in trouble, and any more of us going to jail. When you go before these white judges and what have you, they don't have any mercy on you. They give you the maximum. Matter of fact, they'll create something to do to you and make you stay in jail for things that they let somebody that's not black, go home on probation. he said, work with your hands or your brain. You can work with your brain, with the computer, or what have you. Still working with your hands. And you can have what it is you want. Don't let people get you all souped up. I got a so-and-so person. You know, whatever it is. Whatever it is. You know, you trying to wear the best designer, this and that, when those people care less about you. A lot of them are about the most racist people you ever come in contact with. A large portion of them are Satan worshipers and have dedicated everything that they produce to the deities and demon gods and all that kind of stuff. So, no, you're already beautiful. You can look beautiful in whatever it is that you have, that you duplicate of that or whatever. And you don't have to have what they have to be beautiful or handsome or whatever. Who you trying to impress? If you go out and you steal or whatever it is that you do to get what you have, or use your body, for means of money, you end up getting hurt yourself, maybe killed, lose all your self-worth, dignity. Who are you trying to impress? Somebody else? People that don't even matter? People that don't even care? Instead of yielding to the Lord and letting him just bless you. It's so freeing. It is. It really is. It's so freeing. When we kill the flesh, that doesn't mean anything physical killing. That means turning away from the things that draw your flesh in, that keep you miserable and hungry for things. None of it even matters. Do something for someone else, he said. Go ahead, if you work with your hands doing something good, and then, earn enough, of course, to take care of yourself, but then make sure you do something for somebody that has a need. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth. That's a big one. I'm keeping going because I need to get through this. But that which is good to the use of edifying. Lift up others. Say something nice. That's if they deserve having something nice said, then just don't say anything or whatever. But that it may minister grace unto the hearer. And grieve not the Holy Spirit of God, whereby ye are sealed unto the day of redemption. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice. And be ye kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as God, for Christ's sake, hath forgiven you. He did not say that you would not be forgiven unless you forgave others. That's some stuff that God didn't say. People made that up. There we are. I'm at the end of 4. Didn't even realize. That's a huge chapter right there. That's really, ooh, this is really good. What we say is very important. I didn't live on not letting evil communications come out of your mouth. It is so important what you say with your mouth, what you do. What you say activates a lot of things, especially if you're born again, because there's power from within you that's coming out that rides on those words and that communication that you. So, this is all about killing the flesh. When I say killing the flesh, I'm talking about the spirit, how you think, how you speak, how you act. Taking on the Spirit of God and respond out of that, not out of, vanity and things that. There was a young lady that was on, and she was a child star, and she's grown up now, and she's, beautiful young lady. I don't remember her name. She was a white Caucasian girl, young lady. She's no longer a little girl, but people were trolling her. One particular person was really trolling her because jealousy really is really what it's all about, and saying things about her face, and she's beautiful. And she was very, very gracious how she came across with the response to it. And pretty much, let me grow up. Just leave me alone. Leave me be. And, I'm just going to say that. But she was very much more kinder in her speak about that. And that I'm not that little girl any longer. I am a woman. And why do you think it's okay to detail negatively, pick at my face, and say this is wrong and that's wrong and this and the other, And, it was like, basically, why are you wasting your time and energy trying to, tear at me when it's only really tearing at you? Just let me go on and be me. It's okay for you to be you and for me to be me. She was just sweet. Just sweet how she handled it. Powerfully sweet. So, and I didn't say the words she said, but that was what I got out of it. And she brought it across really plain. So we must take a stance. Take the old man. He said, you drop that conversation of the old man. That means the way you lived before you came to Christ. Drop that mess. If you want to grow in him and be close to the Lord and see the manifestation of his power in your life, you need to drop that old man. You cannot hang on to what was. This is a totally different life, and you're a totally different person. So I pray always that what the name of this ministry is, Soulful Ministries, food for your soul, your mind, emotions, and will, and that it will heal you in all of that, even your body and your spirit strengthened and all. But it is food for your soul, things for you to give you information, something positive to put in your mind, even if it's corrective criticism, for you to meditate on it, read the scriptures, yield to the Holy Spirit, and let him guide you into a complete healing and change your life. It feels so good. It really does. That life of change, dropping off that old man, it is beautiful. The peace that comes with it, not that you're not going to be bombarded with some kind of crazy turmoil that the enemy came up with, because he's always trying to do something. But that's why you have the power to tell him to get boot scooting and get out of here. It's an old country term. And so I heard a testimony last night, and you talking, it was powerful. It was such a beautiful testimony. It was long, and it was even I would say boring. I don't want to use the term boring because it had it was powerful notes in it, but it was slow. Okay. It was slow. And but it was so worth, straining your way through it, because it was one of the most beautiful, powerful. It brings emotion to me just thinking about it. I even tried to forward a little bit and get past, and then I realized I missed a good part, so I had to go back and just suffer it out, and oh, it was some good. Oh, I was so glad I went back because it was so beautiful. It was just so beautiful. You saw God every step of the way in this person's life. I don't remember I have to tell you on another video what it is and everything. It was a young man that he was trans, and he was Latino and good looking young man. And he tells the story in great depth, and it's really, really good. And how he wanted to be a woman so bad, and how the spirit came upon him, and when it came upon him, and and how he goes into so much detail, that really will help people that are dealing with this. And just they have a picture of him dressed up in drag. He let his natural hair grow out, and he gave you all the details of his little heart. He was just the cutest thing, and just sweetly saved, sweetly delivered. Oh, it was so powerful, and he was just so meek, but so real. Darn it. It was just good to see someone really love Jesus and grateful for what God has done for them, and get delivered from something that people tell you can't be delivered from. And that's a lie, because all things are possible with God. He takes you through the stages of when he God opened up his eyes. When he tried some drugs and the things that he saw. How he felt. It was good. It was so powerful because so many people need this. They think they can't get out. They thought it was one thing. And then when they got in there, they realized the same demons that bother straight people and whatever, you still going to deal with those demons. One of the points that he kept bringing up and he made clear, there's never enough. You always want more. Those spirits make you always want more. It's not enough to take the horn. First, it's not enough to grow your hair long, wear makeup, go in full drag. It's not enough. Then you want to take the hormones. Then it is never enough. They're constantly pulling at you saying, oh, you need to do this. You want that. You want the other. Then you got to go get some surgery for this or that. Then you have to go, and it's just on and on. They never stop. Then when you get finished and they're not satisfied until you have completely castrated yourself. And then you find out this is the worst thing on the planet. But I can't say it because, I've made this big deal about, how this is so wonderful and being me, and they done cut off my manhood here. And they don't tell you just how, nobody wants to tell you how it really feels. If I tell you I love Boosie, I pray for Boosie that he come on into Jesus. He want him so bad, but he just don't, he's so around all the rest of them heathens, he don't know how to just let go and let God. Come on, Boosie, come on into the kingdom. And I loved him from saying, Dwayne Wade, when he was telling Dwayne, don't let that boy cut off his personals. Man, don't do that. And they tried to, really get on Boosie for that, but I loved him for it because that was God speaking. Running out of time. See you next time.